Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Chad Talks Water Polo. We got our pool set up here in front of us. We are going to be talking about areas of coverage, thinking about our attack referee down here in the front court, and our back referee or perimeter referee back here, probably in line with the ball, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. So, going to be thinking about just kind of where your eyes are, how your body positioning is. Not really specifically going to get into this one about, which pairs to be watching or anything like that. This is strictly based on the philosophy and the logic behind where I stand in the pool, okay? So, without further ado, let's get to where we can start here. Okay. So also noticed when I do this, sometimes I have these things out here floating around and I think it's showing and it's not. So I'm going to try and work on that here, okay? So let's think a little bit about our attack referee here. What I want you to notice is the kind of the triangle that I've drawn here. I mean, we don't really have triangles. We don't really talk about triangles because everybody should be able to be watched. But if you think about it, I'm going to try and draw this out here. Let's go with this color. If your shoulders are square, that isn't at all what I wanted to do. If your shoulders are, now we're cooking with gas. If your shoulders are facing this way, in theory, so are your eyes, right? So your eyes are going to be here and they're going to be looking out this way. I'm going to move something around here to kind of show you why that's important. But if we're thinking about it here, you kind of can watch everything here and you can kind of focus on what's important. Obviously, you're probably watching the center. If you are the attack referee, you're aware of this pair, and you and your partner have talked about this pair right here. This is very important, especially if there's a lot of action going on in the center there, okay? So thinking about what you're looking at based upon where your shoulders are and where your eyes should be. So down here, I like to stand at about 2 meters and then be aware of when the shot clock, I might step down in anticipation of a shot, okay? The backcourt referee, or the perimeter referee, with our little P there for perimeter, same thing. Okay, got shoulders square, open up to the pool head. One of my mentors tell me at ODP in Dallas here in January, where you want players to be able to see your entire chest, right? Where you are watching. Also, because they're watching you sometimes to watch what you're watching. Remember I talked a little bit about areas of coverage or triangles or whatever. Look at this area right here. It's pretty cool. Inside this, if we stand with our shoulders this way, look at all the pairs we can cover, right? We can cover this entire area right here. That's just about every defensive player matched up with just about every offensive player. That's huge. Everybody can see everything. You can work together as a team, especially if you have headsets, and you can see everything by standing here. Perimeter referee, something that's me there. I told you, see, I was looking at the perimeter referee, and I didn't have my little fancy laser pointer up here. This perimeter referee down a little bit because you want to be able to judge that foul for ball and foul outside 6. A lot easier to sell here. And then again, just like I said with the attack referee, moving down when anticipating a shot, because there's going to be a shot clock here. There's going to be a shot clock here, hopefully. The perimeter referee can kind of start moving back, and sometimes we'll use phrases like, hey, I'm leaving. If this pair starts to counter or this pair starts to counter, okay? Now, here's something that I want to get to in this video before we get too far in, although we're 4 minutes and 29 seconds in right now. And that is what happens when you are square to the pool. Sometimes you'll see referees and they stand there and they've got their feet planted, like nice and firm, kind of standing there. like this. Okay? That means they are 100%, which is fine. 100%, actually, it's not fine. I take that back. If I could go back and delete it, but I like to do this in one take. They are squarely locked in here and here. No idea what's happening. No idea what's happening out here. Likely not to see a hold on a drive here. Okay? And they're locked in. Look at all this wasted area with your shoulders. Remember I talked about your kind of your area of shoulders here? That is about the least straightest line anybody could have possibly drawn. Again, you have really lost that. And look at what happens when we do that and do that. Look at what happens when the perimeter referee stands the exact same way. Golly, man, there's blood in the water. There's all kinds of stuff out there. All right. Think about, remember how I drew that area that was colored in and we could see all the stuff? Look at how much smaller this area is right here. It's no bueno. Remember the size of the one? In theory, this guy has no idea what's happening here, and a savvy player is going to be watching that to watch that hold, right? What if this player drives into release and gets held, or in the women's game, ball comes down and there's a suit grab and she can't step out and get it? This referee's in really, really poor position to see it. So think about how you're standing with your shoulders there, because if you stand this way, you really decrease the amount of area you can see. And if we're thinking about it, all this area out here is kind of wasted space as well. So, and I actually have several different shapes. I've got a triangle here, I've got a circle, and I've got a sort of parallelogram. So hopefully that helps you think about where you're standing, and not just where you're standing, but how you're standing, where your feet are pointed, where your shoulders are pointed, where your eyes are. I once had a mentor talk to me about, the old tennis match. If your eyes are going blink, 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 it looks like you're not really watching anything because you're trying to watch everything. If you just stand here like this and get those shoulders square back, again, triangle opens up and you're good to go. Okay, a lot of extraneous stuff there at the end. If you held on to the end, God love you. Thanks for following me. If you like what you see here, tell somebody else about it. If you want to reach out to me and ask me some questions about this or give me ideas for other things, you can certainly reach out to me as well. If not, I will see you on the deck.